Already? Okay, it's okay. Biar aku aja.
Siap.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to meet you all on this beautiful day. Before we start our presentation, let's us to introduce our teams. I am Niken Verity Dewayana, and next to me are my teammates Rahardian Vidi, Arun Pangestuti, Christine J. Saja, Rahayu Rijayanti, Devi Revita Anggreni, Ivan Sudarso, and Olga Zahra. We are here on behalf of our team, Nupan Iljas. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in this beautiful moment, we would like to present our research paper entitled Sumedang Melesat, Reappraising Digital Governance in Public Service Delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, government investment in public sector information system is often associated with organizational transformation designed to improve policy effectiveness and efficiency. In this context, ICT in public sector is deployed to pursue a set of ideas and practice that regulate the use of business and private sector approach in the public sector to improve organizational efficiency and effectiveness, and thus to reduce bureaucratic burdens. This article challenges the view that public sector ICTs are primarily designed to reduce the scope of public administration, as is often suggested in inspired e-government policies from the thought of the new public management. The paper presents empirical evidence that ICTs can enable alternative organizational solutions to make public sector organization more efficient by supporting bureaucratic coordination. Due to the increasing areas of public sector intervention, a consequence of the expansion of the welfare state, the need for integration within public administration and deeper integration has increased the need to produce and exchange the information between citizen and public administration, and between different public administration branches to provide public service. It has overloaded the bureaucracy with information that now needs to be processed to provide the service a more pervasive welfare state must serve. These failures have generated a wave of legitimate criticism against public sector administration and their ability to fulfill their mandate to provide effective and efficient service. Although this criticism are raised and justified by the failure of the bureaucracies to provide public service, the solution to eliminating bureaucracy is not necessarily the best solution for the state and the public. Bureaucratic organizations that apply organizational principles provide two sets of positive values. ICT adoption in the public sector is often driven by a tunnel vision that favors non-bureaucratic organizational arrangement over whether ICT can improve the capabilities of public administration in delivering service efficiently by leveraging the capacity of bureaucracies to fulfill their duties or to fail to fulfill the overarching goals and of equity, and to organize effectively and efficiently instead. Because of this last point, Cordella suggests rethinking the role of ICTs in the public sector reforms and propose to treat ICTs as a tool to support bureaucratic organization rather than as remove them.
ICT has been designed and implemented to provide adequate and appropriate tools, and solutions to effectively support bureaucratic organization. Office software, database management system, workflow management system, automate decision support system, and more recently web service, online services, and cloud sharing system clouds are some examples of technology solution designed to make bureaucratic organization more efficient by integrating them into the ICT system. Some degree of control and standardization of bureaucratic process, more efficient, effective, and transparent monitoring and control mechanism implemented by ICT technology can truly prove to be valuable solution for the design and implementation and of more functional bureaucratic organization, increasing the uniformity and predictability of administrative procedures and their conformity with regulatory and legal framework governing each administrative apparatus of the public sector. In this context, ICT can power the function that bureaucratic organizations need to carry out their routine tasks and to increase the flexibility and agility of the organization to meet with changing environmental conditions. These organizations must also overcome information processing challenges associated with expanding the reach of public intervention. The increasing complexity and uncertainty of the sector are why public sector administration need to share and process more information, exacerbating the fact that they are becoming less effective and ineffective without appropriate action. Organizations that can harness ICT to support bureaucratic process to overcome these challenges are good examples of e-administration. Therefore, e-bureaucracy is recommended as an e-government policy that contributes to improving the effectiveness and efficiency of public administration activities while reinforcing bureaucratic values of equality in public service from the state to the citizen. In its current formulation, this public service from state to citizen, this electronic bureaucracy theory doesn't take into account the different type of impact that ICT can have on bureaucratic organization, which differ like the task performed, the degree of uncertainty, and internal coordination mechanism.
While the government literature mainly considers ICT devices to be linear catalysts for the transformation of public sector organization and structures, we believe that more aspects of the properties of technological artifacts can help to better hypothesize the role of ICTs in political reform. The design of a system includes cause and effect relationships as described in technology situation and at the same time excludes other causal relationship by excluding interdependencies each other in similar situation. Since technology is necessarily designed to perform certain function, the concept of function simplification and closure help explain what implementation logic is built into the technology and how operations standardized and thus automation is modeled to allow the technology to perform the function designed for. Functional simplification represents the business logic behind how the technology defines the problem area it applies to and the steps to take to solve that problem area. Functional simplification is the process by which information technology breaks down a task or problem into sets of activities that must be performed sequentially to solve it. The simplified functional definition of technology includes explaining the segments of activities that information technology integrates, implements, and standardizes. As information technology standardizes sequence of activities, it tries to decouple and differentiate activities from the messy and localized areas of the social work to which they will apply. The function closure is then the necessary addition to simplify the function. The process of building technology necessarily involves isolating and processing sequential operations, ensuring that their execution is protected from outside interference. Alone taken together, the two concepts are capable of defining an information technology in action. The process of building technology through simplification and functional closure has significant consequences for organizational parameters. Indeed, the simplification and closure of function lead to the separation of the operation of the engineering system from the social, organizational, and action process and practice carried out by the same time, by the same system. Once an organization's procedures and protocols have been delegated to technology automation, the abstraction that simplifies functionality creates implies that procedures and protocols are to some extent separate from the organizational framework from which they arise. Furthermore, the technological underpinnings for implementing procedures and protocols can be heavily regulated through prescriptions, skill profile specification, requirement, and role formation, which equates information technology with a stable management regime and social interaction structure. While technology can represent functional simplification and closure, more or less tailored to an organization's needs, these concepts are not quantitative measure. It makes no sense to say that one technology is functionally more simplified than another because all technologies exhibit different configuration of functional closure and simplification. Simplification in this context doesn't mean simplicity. The simplification and closure of functional are not directly proportional to the quantification. However, different configuration can be evaluated and compared in terms of performance. Configuration
A case study allows them to construct causal chains related to phenomena of interest and provides powerful devices for validating theories in multiple sources of evidence and proof triangulation. To provide the necessary basis for this analysis, the paper focuses on how the local government of Sumedang Regency, Indonesia, designed an ICT platform called e-Office, including ideas presented and discussed in this review. The data collection is based on a number of different sources. We collected data from open-ended qualitative interviews, questionnaires, direct systematic observations, and data mining, as well as secondary data sources. Secondary sources include legal and government documents, technical documents, and public press releases. The objective of the study was to find out how the Smart Village project translates into action through a number of ICT projects and the role technology plays in the success or failure of these projects. In other words, we seek to understand how Sumedang's public administration backs its bureaucratic principles and streamlines administrative procedure by implementing innovative ICT application-based solutions. We follow a semi-structured interview method, supporting the data collection process by preparing interview instructions, personalized for each interviewer, and maintaining a balance between passive and overdue.
E-Office adds an extra bureaucratic letter, the e-Office room, to mediate the interaction among the different organizations, monitor their processes, and stipulate levels of service. The e-Office room has also been created to monitor and arbitrate exchanges. The office is designed to support the existing bureaucratic organizations, in both their machinery and their professional functions. The office provides a one-stop shop for the collection of maintenance requests and forwards each problem to the right organization. The office embeds in its procedural logic the automatic identification of which organization is responsible for a specific kind of problem in territory of Sumedang. When citizens submit a request for intervention via e-office, the information is automatically directed to the organization whose competences are needed to solve the problem. Similarly, the automated localization of maintenance problems feature in e-office is another example of automatic brokerage of bureaucratic negotiations. Before the implementation of e-office, this segment of the negotiation had to be carried out by the citizen. Then the citizen had to undertake the complex task of discovering the office responsible for solving a particular kind of problem. It has reduced the possibility of human error covering the responsible office and reduce this more homogeneous delivery of public service, reinforcing the bureaucratic principles of standardization, impartiality, and fairness of the administrative procedures. The e-office rooms are a good example of e-government solutions designed in support of professional bureaucracies. This cannot be automated by the e-office room, creates and exercises a new functioners decide what organizations are most and to those problems that have been rejected and contested by the organization initially given responsibility. The brokerage function of the e-office room has developed a layer of bureaucratic communication between the organization involved in the project. These organizations have trained and assigned roles to technical staff to manage their communication with the e-office rooms, constructing a stable interface to the bureaucratic structure constituted by e-office. In the office room, professional bureaucrats are responsible only for cases that are exceptional and cannot be handled by automated machinery bureaucracy functions. The e-office room enables the e-office system as a whole to collect and process any kind of request, making the action of the bureaucratic organization more efficient and effective. The e-office system provides effective support to the bureaucratic administration by automating the function of the machinery bureaucracy and by rationalizing and streamlining the work of the professional bureaucracy.
A citizen who wants action to be taken about a problem pertaining to the public territory of Sumedang, be it for instance floating waste, road holes, illegal locking, or swarms of mosquitoes, can issue a maintenance request through the digital platform called e-office. E-office was launched in late February 2021 as part of the major project Smart Village in one of the 6 villages of the Regency of Sumedang, and finally extended to the whole city in April 2021. Then, the user received email notifications when the request is updated by the organization in charge of the request. When a request is received by e-office, the system automatically notifies the responsible organization via email. Some problems classes have more than one organization of reference, as their solutions require the combined interventions of different actors. However, for every class, there is always one organization that takes on the primary responsibility, while others are assigned a secondary responsibility. The secondary responsibility recognizes the interest of the organization in being kept informed about particular kinds of work. The secondary responsibility organization receive automatic updates from the e-office systems. For instance, a request regarding the public parks will be of primary responsibility to the organization in charge of waste treatment, green areas, and water supply, and of secondary responsibility to the local government office for environment conservation. At the core of the office system are the office rooms. The office rooms monitor and coordinate the activity of the whole office system. Most prominently, they process the events that are entered in the unclassified field, and that the system cannot automatically forward to the competent organization. In these cases, it is the responsibility of the e-office room operator to allocate the case of the correct organization. Similarly, e-office room operators have to deal with cases that are rejected by an organization because they were allocated to the wrong class when the submission was made. The staff in the e-office rooms assigns controversial submissions to the right organization. The e-office room operators also have the responsibility to delete requests containing offensive content. Finally, the e-office rooms have to solve out every problem which is not dealt with by one specific organization in a given agency. There are 7 e-office rooms. Each e-office room supervises all the requests concerning the jurisdictions of the agency it belongs to. Operators in the e-office rooms were trained to standardize the service delivered to the citizens by the different organizations. The e-office room operator had to learn how to coordinate the activities of the different organizations involved in the delivery of solutions and how to allocate all the problems which did not follow in their predefined classes. Regarding the submission process before and after the implementation of the e-office, the document was intended to enable the coordination mechanisms imposed by the e-office system and specifically by the e-office rooms. The agreement recognized that e-office is implemented to improve the collaboration needed to deliver the service duties of the involved organizations, and that the organization commits to cooperate to provide a better public service. Most importantly, the agreement institutionalized the role and powers of the e-office rooms. The agreement specifies that the reason must be given for the refusal of any request made by the rooms, that the rooms will receive notification about all requests, and that a central e-office room should be created to support and coordinate the entire system and carry out the jurisdictional assignment of MMS requests. Moreover, the agreement specifies the rules needed for the automatic assignment of responsibilities by the office on the submissions of a request. During the implementation of the system, some important adjustments had to be made to improve the system's performance. Software development before the e-office launch took 2 months. The e-office pilot was launched in the Regency of Wado, which has 21,500 residents. E-office was been updated 10 times in the first 2 years of operations. The updates have added new features to improve the functionalities of the systems. The most prominent improvement, which had major effects on the performance of the system, was the careful tweaking of the set problem classes. At the core of the office, there is a list of essential problem classes which allow the automatic allocation of the tasks to the responsible organizations. If too many requests are forwarded to the office room for assessment, as it occurs for every request in the unclassified class, the automation of the system is only partial, leading to administrative inefficiency in the management of the organizational process. Quickly, the pilot project highlighted that some adjustments were need to make the system sustainable. To reduce the impact of this request, a new category was added to the e-office system in December 2020.
The ideas we've got delivered in this research provide a strong historical past from which to have look at how ICT may be used to guide and permit bureaucracy practice in one of government's reforms and service transport's improvement. Still, the e-office machine has brought about a redefinition of the interdependencies among public management office. This is the end result of a brand new bureaucratic structure, which supplies public offerings through bureaucratic companies extract correctly with the aid of using the equipment, bureaucratic features, and assisting the paintings of expert firms inside the collaborating companies. These new bureaucratic preparations are supported with the aid of using the brokerage affordance of the e-office machine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate it for all your attention to listening our presentation. So thank you so much. Good morning. May all those we have shared be beneficial for all of us. Thank you.